Iran warns its enemies that Muslim fighters will seek revenge following the death of Ali Khamenei. After Khamenei's death, Tehran vows a new phase of what it calls the axis of resistance against its adversaries. Iran declares the axis of resistance remains united and ready to respond to any future threats. Khamenei may be gone, but Iranian leaders say their campaign of resistance and retaliation will continue. As Tehran mourns Khamenei, fresh scrutiny falls on alleged Iranian overseas assassination and murder-for-hire plots. Iran's Navy chief has warned Tehran's adversaries they will face retaliation from what he called Muslim fighters. Rear Admiral Shahram Irani made the remarks during an interview with Yemen's Al Mazira television network. Irani's comments came as Tehran held funeral ceremonies for the late Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. He said supporters of Iran's martyred leader had gathered to renew their pledge of brotherhood and resistance. Irani claimed the spirit of resistance was no longer confined to Iran or any single geographic region. He said Iran's adversaries were now confronting what he described as a broader Islamic resistance movement. The Navy chief warned that those responsible for the deaths of Iranians would face justice from Muslim fighters. Irani declared that Iran's enemies should expect what he described as a decisive retaliatory response. New intelligence claims have alleged that Iran's Quds Force has formed a special operations unit known as Mukhtar for covert missions. The Quds Force, the foreign operations arm of Iran's powerful Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, has been placed at the center of the report. The report further alleged that the Mukhtar unit is plotting assassination attacks against senior U.S. officials. U.S. President Donald Trump is reportedly among the high-profile figures identified as an alleged target. The report also claimed the unit operates with the support of Mexican cartels as well as members of the Iranian diaspora. Its alleged modus operandi involves deploying members of the Iranian diaspora inside the United States to carry out operations. These serious allegations were first reported by Israel's Channel 14 news network in an exclusive report. The report has not been independently verified by Hindustan Times at this stage. No official confirmation of these claims has been issued by the United States, Iran, or Israel. These allegations therefore remain unverified and should be treated as claims pending official confirmation. On July 4, Iran's Foreign Intelligence Ministry also vowed to avenge the killing of the late Supreme Leader. Iran's Intelligence Ministry has vowed to avenge Ali Khamenei's killing amid the funeral ceremonies, turning grief into a powerful call for retaliation. Tehran blamed the US and Israel for Khamenei's assassination, according to Iran International, and said only revenge can heal the wounds of the Iranian people. The ministry pledged retaliation against those it holds responsible for Khamenei's death, raising the tone from accusation to open threat. The statement also reaffirmed loyalty to Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei, signaling that Iran's leadership wants to project unity and continuity. Iran vowed revenge for the blood of Khamenei and other victims of the strikes, framing the conflict in deeply emotional and uncompromising terms. Tehran referred to the clashes as Iran's second and third imposed wars, accusing Israel and the US of waging war against the Islamic Republic. The ministry said its pursuit of revenge would continue under Mojtaba Khamenei, suggesting a long-term response rather than a one-off warning. The statement was released by Iran's state media on Saturday, July 4, 2026. Iran will begin 6 days of state funeral ceremonies for Ali Khamenei on July 4, launching a tightly planned period of mourning that will dominate the nation's calendar. The late Supreme Leader will be laid to rest on July 9, after a series of nationwide ceremonies that move his coffin through some of Shiite Islam's holiest cities. Officials expect millions of people to line the streets for processions across Iran during the state farewell, turning each city into a sea of black banners and flags. Tehran's mayor has suggested the capital alone could see up to 20 million mourners pass through over several days, a logistical and security operation on an epic scale. Authorities say parallel mourning events in Qom, Mashhad, Najaf and Karbala are also expected to draw huge crowds, extending the farewell beyond Iran's borders. Iranian officials insist the ceremonies will demonstrate national unity after months of war and crisis, projecting an image of cohesion around the new leadership. The mourning events will move from Tehran to the seminary city of Qom before the final burial in Mashhad, following a symbolic route through Iran's religious heartland. The state funeral is widely seen as Mojtaba Khamenei's first major test as supreme leader, setting the tone for how he will handle both symbolism and security. Mojtaba has not yet appeared publicly since assuming the country's top leadership position, leaving many Iranians wondering how visible he will choose to be. Observers will watch closely to see whether Mojtaba leads the main funeral prayer in Tehran, a moment that could cement his authority in front of millions and the cameras. U.S. President Donald Trump has come under fresh scrutiny after claiming Iran's leaders could be taken out in a single shot. Donald Trump said he could meet Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu next week after the NATO summit. Trump told Axios that he and Netanyahu get along very well and said the Israeli leader knows who the boss is. Trump said Netanyahu had requested a meeting at the White House during his upcoming visit to Washington. The meeting would be their first since February, following the joint US-Israeli military strikes against Iran. Trump said he was closely monitoring the funeral ceremonies for Iran's late supreme leader Ali Khamenei. He claimed Iran was begging to make a deal after the recent US-Israeli military campaign against Tehran. Trump said negotiations were paused during the mourning period and claimed both sides avoided strikes during the funeral. Trump also questioned the public displays of mourning, suggesting the tears seen at Khamenei's funeral maybe were fake. Axios reported, and I quote, "Trump claimed the Iranians are begging to make a deal, but said both sides decided to take a week off from the talks until the events around Khamenei's funeral end. In the meantime," he said, "neither side will shoot at the other. They are all there. One shot and we can take them all out. But we are not going to do that because then we would have nobody to negotiate with," Trump said. He added that he was surprised to see some Iranians crying at the funeral, saying he thought people hated Khamenei. "Maybe it's fake tears," Trump mused. Unquote.